Lesson 19. India wins freedom. Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar, Gujarat. He studied law in England. He went for doing law in England. After getting his degree, he went to South Africa to practice law. In South Africa, he was disturbed by the racial discrimination between the Indians and the whites. The blacks were also treated with contempt. Once Gandhiji was thrown out of a train, this made him more determined to fight for the cause of justice. In South Africa, Gandhiji gathered Indians together and made them realize that discrimination on the basis of the skin color was unjust. It was bad to determine someone's being good or bad on the basis of color. He believed that truth would prevail and violence would provide no answer. Thus, his method was called Satyagraha. In 1915, Gandhiji returned from South Africa to India. There he had fought for the rights of the Indians living in South Africa through non-violent ways. He believed in non-violence. He had gone to Africa as an advocate and returned to India as a famous leader who fought for justice. He jumped into the national movement and channeled all his efforts towards the goal of freedom. He worked for the freedom of Indians. People of low caste and untouchables were treated very badly in those times when he returned from there. Gandhiji gave the name Harijan to untouchables. He asked the people not to follow caste system. He believed that all people are equal and nobody is of low caste or of high caste, and no caste is higher or lower from anybody else. Rolex Act 1919. After World War I, the government made several laws and acts to curb the freedom of Indian people. One such act was the Rolex Act of 1919. According to this, anybody could be arrested without a trial. Without any trial, anybody could be arrested, and that was not good. Gandhiji asked the Viceroy not to enact the Rolex Act. Demonstrations and meetings were held all over the nation. This posed a great problem to the government. Nearly the whole country joined the Satyagraha movement. Jaliya Walabag tragedy. A large meeting of about 10,000 people was being held at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar on 13th April 1919. The people had gathered there to protest against the arrest of local leaders. They were peacefully protesting. General Dyer, a British officer, asked his troops to open fire on this peaceful gathering without any warning. More than 1,000 people were killed and many wounded in this Jallianwala Bagh tragedy. This barbarous act shocked the leaders of the national movement. Gandhiji wanted to give a firm reply to the British after Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So people were very much shocked Next is non-cooperation movement. He started the non-cooperation movement. According to this movement, people were asked not to cooperate with the British government. People renounced titles given by the British government. Some people had got some titles and they renounced those titles. Students left British run schools and colleges. British articles were burnt. People started wearing khadi to people started weaving khadi to make clothes. Some protesters, however, got violent in Chori Chora, Uttar Pradesh. They set fire to a police station in which British officers and Indian sepoys were burnt alive. This greatly saddened Gandhiji because he believed in non-violence and this was against his laws. He was determined to follow the path of non-violence and satyagraha firmly. Therefore, Gandhiji withdrew non-cooperation movement. He took his movement back. During the non-cooperation movement, many young leaders joined Gandhiji. Among them were Jawaharlal Nehru, Sarojini Naidu, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. They were the famous leaders of non-cooperation movement. The Simon Commission. While Gandhiji was imprisoned, the unrest caused among the people made the British uneasy. In 1928, Sir John Simon was called to India to investigate what was wrong so that new changes could be implemented. As there was no Indian included in this commission, the Indians were very angry. They greeted the commission with black flags and shouted, "Simon, go back." Lala Lajpat Rai was badly injured in the Lathi charge, because of which he died a few days later. So that was all about non-cooperation movement.